was really the story of the game. They were ready to played very well. We're disappointed in how we played. Obviously, we played Southern Miss very well on Tuesday night down there. We picked to win Conference USA, won 29 games last year, and had a lot of players back and played them to 12 points. We thought we were going to come in with some momentum, but Pittsburgh's very well coached. They have good players, and they put it on us tonight. We've been here. It's my 6th year. We've played Division I's at least 2 every year, and we haven't been beaten like that in a long time. And that was a credit to their coaches and players.
What does Pitt do on the floors so well?
They played hard. I thought they were real physical. They really. I think one of the things that as a coach, as you watch, the one thing that was real evident was we got knocked down a lot, and it wasn't anything flagrant or it was part of the game. Them just running through us, which that's what we like to do, and they just knocked us down a whole bunch and had us on our heels, and they just played a more physical, more I'd say just a more physical game than we're used to seeing, but at the same time we need to give more resistance, and I think that was, like I said, they did a good job. They were ready to go. They ran a lot of twists and a lot of those twist ball screens, which was very difficult for us to guard. They did a great job with it, and their bigs made some shots around the rim, and then the guards were on fire. I mean, they played really well. Some of it was on them shooting very well, and some was poor defense. It was more of them being very good, but I don't want to discount us doing a poor job on our end.
Coach, talk about how difficult it is to face a team like Pitt that is so deep and has so many people coming off the bench that can contribute and contribute well.
Yeah, they're an ACC team. Obviously you got one of the best coaches in the country. One of the, over the last 15 years, you'd say with total wins, they're in the top 10, I believe. Coach Dixon and his staff, they're second to none. I mean, I think he put their coaching staff and him up against any of the big-time coaches in college basketball, and they do a good job with that. They shuttle the guys in and out. They keep them fresh. The one thing that I was particularly impressed with was the builds of their guys. They have a lot of new players and young players, and their strength staff should be game ball tonight. I mean, those guys they're built. I mean, they look like Pittsburgh Steelers to some extent. Some of them. I mean, they're that big. I mean, some of those up front guys that they come in with. I mean, they're not only tall, but they have a good weight. I coached at the Division I level for a long time, and that was the one thing to me that stood out tonight when we came up for warm-ups. I told the other coaches, I said, we're going to have to hold our ground a bunch tonight, so this could get ugly. And unfortunately, I was right. But they have good depth. I mean, they're a good team, and they're going to win a lot of games. And it's a good experience for us in the same week for our school to play Southern Miss and Pitt. In the same week is, I think it's great for us. I mean, it's a good experience. Next weekend we go to Shepherd University down in West Virginia. It's a good team, but that's a lot different. Even though the colors are the same, it's a lot different teams.
As you were scouting Pittsburgh this week leading up to the game, what did you see, both on film and then in game action as well from Cameron Wright, who is going to be somebody that's going to have to fill a role this year?
He's gotten a lot better. I came to watch practice last year, and I thought he was going to be very good. But believe it or not, we just started practice October 15th. So it's not like we go into these games like against Southern Miss or Pitt and put a lot of scout time into that. We're really trying to get ourselves better. That's not a knock on those two programs, because obviously they're two of the better programs in college hoops right now. But we really just try to get ourselves better and improve our own team. And you're looking at starting the 15th, and you're looking at 2.5 weeks of practice, a little over 2.5, almost 3 weeks of practice. So we try to get ourselves better and go into these games not blind, but we don't put a scout in like we would the next weekend when we're playing teams at the same level as us. But we want to be able to adapt on the move, which I didn't think we did well tonight. Like I said, we had confidence coming in, so this is a credit to Pitt, whereas, against Southern Miss, like I said, it was 29-8 last year and lost in double overtime to Memphis in their title game, had a lot of those players back. We played a lot better, so I think that's Pitt being Pitt. I mean, that's what they do, right? I mean, they don't score 90-some points, but they really intimidate and play a physical style ball. I mean, and they did that tonight to us. And if I'm a Pitt fan, I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad to see that. That's what we do, and it's a good sign going down the road. It's just like I told Southern Miss. I have a lot of good friends on their staff and a lot of good friends on this staff with Coach Dixon. And, these are the only nights we don't root for Southern Miss and Pitt. And every other time, we're rooting like crazy for them because I like how they play. We try to emulate their style, if that makes sense, and at a lesser degree at a Division II level. And it was impressive. Unfortunately, I had a closer view than most people of it.
What's it like trying to mesh so many new parts?
It's difficult. We've done that every year. The way we have to do it at Slippery Rock is with the resources we have, the location we have in our league. We have 9 teams in our league, and we're not the first option for most of the kids we're looking at. So we have to be creative. Like on our floor, we had 10 new players. None of them visited Slippery Rock before committing to Slippery Rock. Most of them, they knew some of the guys on the team, but we just had real good assistant coaches. We've had 4 assistant coaches move in 5 years to the Division I level, 1 at Northern Colorado, 3 that are at Pitt, and the guy I have now, Ian Grady, they do a good job of. We don't have the resources to visit guys, so it's that's not an excuse though. We've been successful at our level with this formula. It just didn't work tonight at all. But it is difficult to get the guys, and it's our job as coaches. We knew that when we took the job. It's not an excuse. We knew coming in we didn't have what IUP, Cal, Gannon, Mercyhurst, Seton Hill, UPJ. It's really in our league. It's 6 teams that have like really one part of a division, and then it's us, Clarion, and Edinburgh. Not a knock on those 2 teams. We're more similar in resources, so we have to be creative, and we've been that. We've been good, so I think that's why our locker room's disappointed. Is we thought we'd have a better showing tonight, and we didn't. And from a coaching standpoint, we did a poor job, and the players, I think we got a little ahead of ourselves after Tuesday night. I mean, that's life. You come in and you think, oh man, we're pretty good. We took a team that went to the round of 8 in the NIT. Runner-up in Conference USA, played them pretty well actually, and tonight we didn't compete. It wasn't a game, and I think we got it to 10 one time in the first half, and really other than that, it wasn't a game. So I think that's why we're disappointed.
What's it like coaching, a ton of transfer students? I know you talked about this kind of, but it must be interesting to get these guys from other
places. Yeah, it's a good challenge. Plus, a lot of them we haven't seen. We go off a lot of recommendations from other coaches, and we've done that since we've been here. We've been pretty successful with it. I know it's unique where most people are like, oh, kids take 5 visits. We really, since we've been at Slippery Rock, and it's our 6th season, like my first year there, we visited 1 player. We signed 12 in the summer that first year. This year, same thing. We have to establish good rapport, good relationship with the guys, and then it's our job as coaches. Like I said, it's part of the job at Slippery Rock. When we took it, and it wasn't a successful team, and that's part of the reason I got it too. And I was at Morehead State. I was happy to get it. I was the 5th choice, so and I'm super excited I got the job. Every day I'm super excited that I'm grateful for the opportunity. So having to do some things and be creative and do some things that are unconventional. We knew that taking that, and we've been successful with it. But it's a lot of work. We got to get back to the drawing board tomorrow. We got to get our team more together, more right. We got to get our rotations. I think you see we play a lot of guys, just trying to find out who can play with each other and who can't, and who needs to play more minutes, who needs to play less. And really, that's my job as a coach. And so far this year, I've done a poor job in that, in my opinion. We've done a better job of getting quicker cohesion and better chemistry in the 5 previous years, and that's no one to blame but myself, really. I mean, that's been disappointing. Some of the disappointment tonight's in myself and our coaches that we haven't gotten to the level like we've been in, where we've been more competitive in these games, like last year. Even though last year when we beat Navy, at their place, and then we went to Michigan at the half. You know, it was a six-point game, and then obviously they opened it up in the second half on us. But we competed a lot better against the NCAA runner-up, and we just didn't do that tonight. And that's a lot of that credit goes to Pitt, but some of that has to go on our shoulders too. We'd be naive to think that we did a good job coaching. You know, the last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you know, coming till today.
Yeah, I mean, you guys lost 4 starters, so how do you see yourself as much of a 3-point shooting team as you've been?
I hope not. I hope not. You know, I think with Tabari back, you know, and Maurice, you know, transferring in, those are 2 of the better players at our level in our league, and then we have to find some other players to play well with them. You know, I think that's part of our job as coaches, that we got to do a quicker job. In the past, we've identified it quicker than we've done this year, so we need to do that in the next week, though. I know that because we played an exempt tournament in Charleston and Shepherd, so we got to do a better job of getting our rotations, because typically we've only played 8 guys, and you know, it's like I was talking to one of the coaches before the game. Yeah, we won 23 games last year. We have, for Division II level, 4 guys playing after college overseas. That is losing a lot, but everybody loses a lot. The goal of college basketball is to lose good players, like a Steve Adams. Like everyone said, we lost Steve. Well, he's a real good player. He's the 12th pick of the draft. That's the goal. Like, you don't want to, you know, no one talks about losing average players. You know, it's a good thing when you say, man, we had a Steve Adams, or the guys at our level that are that good, or DeJuan Blair. You want to have, you know, everyone's upset when you lose them, but other people wish they had them to begin with. Even if you have them for a year, it's good to have those type of players. So.
You're kind of winning when you lose them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a job as coaches. Every year, everybody loses guys. Everyone has seniors, and everyone wants to win. And Pitt's done a good job of that. I mean, that's we really try to emulate them. I mean, it's a team that we've looked up to since we've been here. At our level, we try to play like them with the same strength, the same coaching, and I mean, I think it's a good thing, a good place to emulate. I mean, it's some of the best coaches in the country and some of the best teams.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you.
I didn't think there'd be that many questions.